It's time. Kings, y'all ain't ready. It's time. It's your boy, Coach Josh Jones, former King from Chapter 1 series. I'm here with my man, Kyle Jacko, about to bring you Chapter 3 series. Kings, I hope y'all ready. It's time, man. Let's get it.
How y'all doing today, man? As you know, it's Kyle Jacko checking in from the ATL. And before we get ready to get started, we have to shout out the Kings from chapter 1 and chapter 2. Remember, y'all done a real good job, man. Y'all paved the way for King Series chapter 3. So I just want to give y'all shout outs right now because y'all done a real good job. But you already know it's time for the King Series chapter 3 to start right now. So, man, with that being said, man, I had the honor of being on Clubhouse and being able to get into this dude room, man, real cool, man. He had like a lot of great stuff going on. He always loved to help people out, let people promote their business inside Clubhouse, which a lot of times on Clubhouse, we don't let people promote their business, but he makes an actual value to make sure he stand on those core values every single day. So I could talk more about him, but I want him to tell you about himself. Help Unicorn Mike. Come to the stage right now. Let everybody know you as King.
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm happy to see you. Off Clubhouse, we definitely connected on Clubhouse. You're always leading with such value. I'm happy to showcase you on my platform and what I'm cultivating. In case you don't know me for whatever reason, I'm Health Unicorn Mike. Yeah, the guy with the unicorn on his head. As they say, I'm a nationally licensed, award-winning health insurance broker. I offer affordable health coverage that creates tax deductions for small businesses, helped thousands of entrepreneurs and their families. I'm actually licensed in 33 states. I also deal in commercial lending, commercial funding projects from 500,000 to 10 billion. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I'm happy to be here.
Okay, because I know they saw it, they was like, what is the unicorn on his head? So now y'all know exactly what it stands for. He just told y'all what it is. So don't be leaving no comments or anything like that. You got any questions, remember, go in the description below, check and see what he does. Make sure you hit the hyperlinks. Go see what he's doing. He'll explain everything to you more. One thing about the King series only give you a snippet of what somebody does in their life. I'm just letting you see the Kings I know, so you will know the Kings too. So, King, my next question to you is, how do you wear your crown in society around other kings?
Yeah, I think it's a matter of living to your individuality, right? That's the unicorn in my head, being just shining in your opportunity. I think the issue oftentimes, especially with other kings, is that they don't recognize a king, right? They don't know how to say, hey, what's going on, brother? How can I help you? How can I build? How can we build together, right? There's so many opportunities to connect and to collaborate and to just make sure that you help somebody grow and be better, right? So I think the way that I, quote unquote, wear my crown, especially in other situations, is that I don't even focus on the fact that I have a crown. I focus on other people having a crown, and that allows minds to shine even better, right? Because if I'm putting up 7 different kings, you're gonna look at me even if I don't have my crown on my head, right? You're gonna be like, oh, he's clearly a king because these other ones are set up. So that's how I operate. Put other people first, and it'll definitely, but blessings will come back to you.
Okay, King, I love that. As we were doing the video, I didn't even recognize it at first. We both really got on like the same glasses right now. Like that's so cool. So it goes on to my next question, matter of fact. My next question is, who do you consider your king role model? Like for me, my king role model is Malcolm X. It's always been Malcolm X because just his mind frame was always changed. He was always doing so much different stuff. And people saw him as one way, but he actually went another way. He changed so many times in his life. And to me, that was on my king role model. But King, when it comes to you, it could be a family member, it could be a celebrity, it could be anybody. You just can't use God. You can use anybody else but God. But yeah, so king role model, who is it? We would love to know.
Of course, I was immediately gonna say God. No, right? But no, that's always a good question for me. I was the male role model in my house. I grew up without a father. It was me, my grandmother, my mother, right? So where I found my motivation and connecting with a male role model was, for me, it was a couple of two. It was Thurgood Marshall, right? Because he was the first Black Supreme Court justice. I just loved the legacy that he left, the way that he moved, the way that he was, pouring into others, right? And doing it from a position to help people, right? And then the other one would have been it's in my mind, it's either Michael Jordan right? Because of his competitive spirit, his competitive nature. I actually met him when I was 4 years old. I talked to him for a whole hour. It was fantastic. I just walked up to him and I said, "You're tall." And he said, "You're small." And so I said, "Cool." I sat next to him, started talking to him. He would probably still say the same thing today. I'm still haven't really grown that much, but I love his competitive nature. And I love the intentionality of his choices from a business perspective. So for me, Thurgood Marshall from a historical perspective, right? But it's somebody that I actually related to and saw a lot of myself in regards to my drive, my hunger, my willingness to want to build, grow, be better, and just constantly never be satisfied with mediocrity. I'd have to say Michael Jordan would be a great influence.
Okay, and matter of fact, I'll give you another one too for me. It'd have to be Nipsey Hussle because what he did for his community, and it also has to be DMX. It has to be DMX because what he done for his community too. Really, when you think about it, they both done something for their community, the same thing I'm doing right now. So it's a really good thing for me. And the next one is, man, we got a game. We got a game called the wordplay. Basically, in the wordplay, I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to ask you this. It could be a name, it could be a city, it could be anything, and I want you to go in detail and tell me what that means to you. You ready to play the game? You're going to mute your microphone.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, your first one is going to be God. When I say God, what comes to your mind?
Everything. God is love. God is peace. God is happiness. God is excellent. I wouldn't be anything without the Creator, And every day in my life, I'm thankful more and more. The longer I live, the more I'm thankful because I know that each day, each breath is a blessing. I've had a couple of car accidents in my life, not necessarily with me, but just people around me, myself, other people I know, and they've changed my life, changed my whole trajectory of my life. For me, when I was about 11 years old, one of the bishops told me that I was going to do great things for the church. So my entire life, I've been trying to live up to that moniker. I have no idea what the great things were supposed to be, but I knew that I needed to do them. I knew I needed to be excellent in order to do great things. So God, for me, represents the epitome of said excellence. God, for me, represents the completion of said opportunity. God, for me, represents love, represents happiness, represents peace. He's blessed me with my family. He's blessed me with my career. He's blessed me with my mind, my health. I can say nothing but positive things. I wouldn't be here without the Creator. And in my faith, that's everything. So God is everything. That's probably the long and short of that.
I love it because as you were saying, you were smiling the whole entire time. Yeah, keep your microphone on mute. But you were smiling the whole entire time. And I really did enjoy that because when I think about God, I smile the same way. Okay, your next question, I know you're going to smile on this one. What about marriage?
What about what?
Marriage.
Marriage.
Being married. Yes.
I'm married. I'm so happily married. I love my wife. My wife is amazing. She compliments me. She adds to my life. She justifies every day that I made the right choice in choosing her. She's fantastic as a mom. And also for me, marriage outside of just being with her, marriage is about the partnership and about the opportunity to build something greater than yourself, right? I can come with my pillar of strength and she comes with her pillars of knowledge, her pillars of empathy, and together we're building this mansion of success. And I think the biggest thing with me for marriage is the impact it has on my kids. I love my kids. I love my kids so much. They're tremendous. They're so impressive, so well spoken, intelligent. And I think without me being married, especially being married to my gorgeous, amazing wife, right? Mind you, she's right here, so she probably would hit me otherwise. But no, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. But honestly, I would say the same things whether she's in the room or not, or out of the room. She's a blessing and a compliment to my life, and I can't imagine having to retread and make the same choices and get the same choices. I just would hope that I'd be with her in any aspect. If I was in the animal kingdom, right, and I was a lion, she'd have to be a lioness, like if I was a peregrine falcon, she'd need to be a peregrine falcon. Like I would have found her in any life, in any generation, in any stature of energy. She's everything that I've ever hoped for. And for me, that's what marriage is. Marriage is, well, everything ain't ever always perfect in marriage. Like people say, oh, is marriage gonna be perfect forever, happy forever? That's not what it's about. Marriage is about understanding that your imperfections, masked with her imperfections, the complementary nature creates a perfect unity. That's marriage. That's what it's about.
Okay, I was gonna ask you. I thought I saw a shadow right now. Like, is she telling him to say that? You know what I'm saying? But I love that because you were smiling on that one too. And it brings me to my next one. You said something when you were talking at first. When I say kids, being a father, because I love we were talking at first because I grew up out of dad also. So me being a dad, it's just so much love because my dad didn't give me that love, so I'm able to give it to my kids. So what about your kids, man? Let us know. I know you say you got 3, right?
Yeah. I've got 2 6-year-olds and a newborn. My little unicorns. My oldest daughter is the inspiration for the unicorn itself. She loves unicorns, and that kind of really prompted everything. And my wife has an eye for marketing and branding. She said, "Oh, that's a thing." So it became a thing, and here we are. And honestly, I grew up without a dad. So for me, my greatest accomplishment, the greatest thing I ever wanted to do was be a dad, because I wanted to prove like what it was like, what he was missing, like what this person that I didn't know, that I didn't connect with, like he didn't make it, so I didn't want to be a dad. He made it so I wanted to be a dad because I didn't want to rush and be a dad. Don't get me wrong. I didn't want to be like, hey, I'm 18 as a dad. That's not what I'm saying. But when I was ready and mature and having an ability to take care of them, I wanted to be able to create contributing members to society, people that had similar views and visions and looked a little bit like me. What's funny is my daughter looks just like me, and my son looks just like my wife. But then our youngest looks just like a mix of all of us. So it's so interesting to see that family dynamic. And somebody asked me something on Clubhouse, actually. I'm part of a lot of different groups, a lot of different rooms. I'm doing a lot of things from an entrepreneurial perspective. And he asked me, he said, most people say, I would die for my kids, right? And he says, but would you live for them? The question he asked me, he said, what are you doing every day to stay alive? For me, that was tremendous, because every day I'm thinking about, what can I do for my kids? How can I make them happy? How can I make sure that they're taken care of if I'm not around? I need them to know. It was funny. I buy a lot of books. So this is a good interview because I love the questions here. But I buy a lot of books. I have a ton of books. I'm building a library, right? And I told my kids, I said, listen, if you want to get to success faster than Daddy did, read these books. That's what it is. That for me, that's my legacy. Like much more than the words that I teach them, the life insurance policy that I have, the business that I'm building. It's about the knowledge that I'm able to bestow to them so they can pour to others. I saw this movie when I was a kid. It was Pay It Forward, right? Everybody, if I saw that, I think it's Shia LaBeouf or something. Pay It Forward. I don't remember who the kid was. I was saying, but no, Haley J. Osment. And the idea was pay it forward. So he did it, a duty of service to someone in the start of the movie, and by the end of the movie, because of the course of actions, that guy ended up being able to pay back that duty of service back to him, but in a whole different way. The whole movie was crazy. And for me, that's where kids come in. How can I do them a duty of service so they can pay it back to the world?
Love that, man. It touches on so many topics because, yeah, I remember growing up and like my dad wasn't there, man. I used to see, we had a couple of friends that stayed in the neighborhood. Shouts out to my homeboy Eric Collins' dad. He used to always teach us and coach us, and what I'm saying, give us life lessons and everything like that. Man, I used to look at his dad. My dad was now you like, man, I wish my dad was him. But he always treated the community like we was his kids. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I understand it because like I didn't want to have the child at the age of 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like I was mature, but I wasn't that mature. So 23 came, 23, 24, I had a mirror. When I had a mirror, I always knew what I wanted to present myself for as a dad because he wasn't right there. So I knew the first thing as a dad, you don't leave your kids. So like my dad loved me, so I know, okay, money, we don't have that, but hey, spending time with my kids and doing something. It was about like, even with these King and Queen series, it's building a legacy for my kids to see where I came from, where I'm at now. Like July, what is it? July 11 or July 12, it'll be 6 years that I haven't sold drugs. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be a phenomenal thing. And my kids, they've been seeing the change from me joining the church, being there all this time, and then me ushering that church. And I used to have my kids in the car. I used to have a Pontiac Grand Dam. I used to fit all five. I had 5 kids. And I used to take all the 5 kids and put them in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? And I remember going to church and opening the door. They was like, "How many kids gonna get out the car?" I was like, "I don't know. I'm waiting for them to stop now." And just with me doing that, with being able to see my kids and doing everything like that, man, and my dad, he never did do it. Like, it's been a blessing. You know what I'm saying? So salute to you being a father that you are, man. This man, you amazing. That's all that I gotta say. So with that being said, man, you have won the wordplay, man. You wanna know what you have won?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Man, you have won a pack of Starbursts. We only got 3 in the pack though, King. I mean, we barely making it right now, man. We got 3 in the pack, man.
Hey, that counts. That counts. All you need is a little something sweet nowadays. That's all right.
Yeah, so we got them three Starbursts, and we got you a box of Popeyes biscuits with no water, no butter, no nothing, King. You gotta eat all of them like in less than an hour.
Oh, I don't know if I can do that one.
You can do it, man. Hey, unicorns can do anything, King.
That's
unicorns
true. We're
can do
magical.
anything.
We're magical.
There you go. So a box of biscuits, you can eat in an hour. You good to go.
Unless I got some honey, man. I don't know.
There's no honey, no butter, no water, no nothing. I mean, it might be your last King series video, but you'll make it. Man, I love this interview, man, because I tell a lot of people, man, like with me, well, I spoke to you on the phone, so I love the joke, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the motivational space, it's always serious. But I let people know, like when it comes to joking, oh yeah, I got jokes for days. I really, really do. Like what y'all don't know is once we got ready to do this Zoom, we got on the Zoom. I was like, Mike, what do you got on your head? And he broke it down to me. I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna have to ask you this question, King. I don't know what to tell you. So man, yeah, this has been an amazing thing right now. But you're on the blueprint I have for you this year. They had one king that was on the blueprint. That it was a must that I want all y'all to talk about. So, hey, shouts out to all the kings for the King Series Chapter 4 next year. Y'all might as well go watch the video because y'all gonna have to watch it next year anyway. I would love for you to tell people what you got from that video and why they should go watch the video, King.
Yeah, no, that video was great, man. Was very motivating, right? And the guy, you could tell he had a years of experience. He had been pouring into others and helping people and just being an example, for the community. He was talking about just having that direct impact, it was funny. He was sitting almost like he was sitting in a barber chair, and I just thought about like being at the shop, chopping it up with the guys, right? Getting the fresh cut. I don't got a fresh cut for the day, but hey, that's all right. Right? Got a unicorn, it works out. And I was just thinking like, man, sometime I'm gonna be an old head, right? At some point, I'm gonna be the person coming back, sitting down, trying to give some wisdom before it's too late. Don't wait before it's too late. Join the King series. Come up and connect with the right people. Come up and be a part of something greater than yourself. And I love that he was talking about the community, and just his relationship with the community. And it was funny as he was going through a while. He talked for a minute, right? But it was so many like gems and jewels. I was like, man, I'm just trying to grab a bag so I can just start putting them all in there, And I think why it's so important is because while watching that video, one, it could prepare you for this, right? But two, and more importantly, it can teach you something, right? It can help you to learn, help you to grow, help you to be better. And as we're doing a King series, we're saying, hey King, that hey, we have to salute one another in a way that allows us to build, allows us to pour into each other. Because there's too much negative in the world, too many detractors, too many distractors, too many things that take you away from your purpose and your goals and what you should be doing. And that video was helpful in kind of grounding you in regards to your moral compass and how you should approach things. And I loved his approach. And I love that you all had that type of conversation in order to help build other people. So that's really what I got from it.
Yeah, it was really cool, that video, because what a lot of people don't know is that that was his last video. He passed away the year before last. So I wasn't even able to shoot the video. He had his friend to shoot it, because when I went and saw him, everybody, people say somebody has cancer, you say you're a pray. But when you actually see somebody and you see how much stuff they go through, they get tired real quick and everything like that. When I first saw him, I was like, don't even worry about it. You're like, we'll do it next year. And he was like, nah, we don't do it this year. And I was like, nah, you don't gotta do it this year. And it's like, to me, I just realized this, that my aunt probably knew that time was kind of coming real close. And I think it was just like, I'm gonna lead the world with some gems. I already left him in Port Arthur, Texas. I already done that, but now it's gonna be left everywhere. Cause with me, I already knew with him from me growing up as a child, he was gonna be the person I had to watch anyway. That's what he was gonna be, regardless. He was gonna always be that. But it made it even more fun because I wanted people to see who he was when I grew up. You know what I'm saying? So getting him to do that video, and he's like one of my little superheroes. So seeing him grow up and seeing him have his own barbershop and doing everything he was doing, I couldn't have picked a better king for y'all to watch. You know what I'm saying? The King series is an amazing series, but for him from Port Texas doing everything he was doing and, just being up in the community, I couldn't have picked a better king to be the blueprint, the logo for the King series, everything about the King. I couldn't pick another king for it. So shout out to you, okay, Ray Brown, man. Love you so much. King, my next question. What are you doing in your life today to develop future kings?
That's a good question there. Shout outs to your uncle that passed away as well. For me, I'm always trying to build and pour into others. You've been on my stages, you know how I am. I'm very very honest about wanting to help people. And for me, I'm in two different fraternities, right? So I'm always pouring into others, giving value, trying to recruit somebody into something that'll change their life. I want everybody that's around me to be successful. They tell you that your income is an agglomeration of the 6 people that you spend the most time with, right? Well, instead of me changing my circle, I said, why don't I elevate my circle? That's really where I was at, because it's kind of slightly selfish, but not intentional. And for me, I try to always pour in to the next generation. I try to always pour in to kids, to friends, to family, anybody that'll listen. I'm always trying to come up with advice and come up with a solution to your problem. I think too many people in life complain and find reasons to complain versus finding a solution to the problem. For me, I'm extremely solution oriented. I don't focus at all on things that are problems. I only care about the solution, because the solution can get us past anything. We can always move forward. We can't really move back, right? So with the new generation, with the youngest generation, the newest generation, the those after the millennials, Gen X, Gen Zs, Gen Ys, all those gens, right? I think it's a matter of leading from the front and showing them that you don't have to sell drugs in order to make money, right? You don't have to degrade women in order to have intercourse, right? You don't have to be a negative soul in order to make an impact on the world. That your shine is an internal thing. It's expressed externally, but your shine initially starts internally. And if you ain't right within, it's difficult for others to relate to you. So I try to show those things through my actions and by doing a duty of service every day. And two fraternities, as I said, and one of them that teach you that the service I do unto others is the rent I pay on this earth. So I'm trying to do service unto others as much as I can. I'm trying to be ahead on rent. That'd be a great thing, right? So.
Hey man, amazing. I love this, man. Like, see, it's something different when you see somebody on Clubhouse, then you speak to them once or twice on the phone, and then when you actually be able to do something that, in my mind, I know somebody watch this video right now. Y'all are getting so many gems right now. Now y'all sitting back and you're like, man, wow, like that's what it is. So allow me to tell you again, that's why you need to go to the description below, reading is fundamental. Look at the hyperlinks, click on them, go check them out. Because like I say, I hear them on stage all the time, but this has been like the longest time where we don't have to worry about bringing nobody else from the club. We got to tell nobody to raise their hand right now because it's only me and you on stage right now. So, man, this has truly been an honor, man. I really do appreciate it. But I got another question for you. My next question is, and I know you're gonna learn this question. I want you to go in detail with this. What behaviors do you see in mainstream society is giving out the wrong king message? I know you're gonna love that one.
I think that the media is sensationalized, and it's intentionally done to evoke emotions. And I think that a lot of it is distractions from the reality of the situations that are going on. For example, that Will Smith smacking Chris Rock thing, right? I think that was a distraction from the war in Ukraine, right? I shouldn't talk about the war. That's how people get assassinated. But it's the same type of thing that I think that society teaches us that we should spend, like for example, Kendrick Lamar came out with an album, right? And he talked about all the glorification of Black people and how we don't need to be impoverished and how we can build and be better, right? This just came out, right? And everybody was like, oh, nah, that ain't hitting on nothing. Where's that future at? That's the impact of the media. That's the impact of the societal education that they're forcing upon us. That's the impact of the indoctrination and the lack of education. Another thing that I think, interestingly enough, this is coming from a very well-educated person, is that I think that they pushed us to be educated so that we wouldn't compete with them. And so we already start from a position of poverty. It's a perpetual thing, you know, each thing leads to the other. They tell you, hey, this is the way to get out of it, right? But the way to get out of it is to get into more debt. The way to get out of it is to get into more situations that may not necessarily work out for you. The way to get out of it is to quote unquote get a job, right? And the biggest veil removed from my eyes was becoming an entrepreneur, you know, because entrepreneurship is by far the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. And I think that the media doesn't portray entrepreneurship in the light that it should. The media doesn't portray entrepreneurship as a viable option from you leaving school. It doesn't talk about, hey, you should be in business for yourself. You should have trades. You should have an LLC. You should be taxed as an S corp. You need to have a CPA. You need to have an estate planning attorney, a financial advisor, a benefits guy like myself, a business coach. They don't tell you any of these things. They just say, hey, you know, you can sell drugs to the community. Hey, you can be a rapper, right? Everybody be a rapper. I can't rap to save my life. I can do poetry. I'm great at poetry. Terrible at rap. I can only hear in one ear. So I think that's why, you know. I think they teach you to, and then I think they're emasculating men nowadays in a very specific and intentional fashion, which is unfortunate. I don't have a problem with anyone of any creed, sex, origin, religion, any of those categories. I love everybody. But I hate to see men being emasculated unnecessarily. And then because of the indoctrination, choosing said emasculation as if it's, you know, palatable. It reminds me of the Willie Lynch syndrome, candidly speaking. So that's my thoughts there.
Okay, I mean, yeah, like me and my uncle, he's like in his 60s, and we had a conversation, and we loved Kendrick Lamar album because it touched on all parts of life. It wasn't just like this all the time. It touched on all parts because like I ain't gonna say the song, but we're gonna just call it Auntie. Like you listen to Auntie's song, like did you listen to the song Auntie on Kendrick Lamar? So you listen to Auntie's song, think about how many little kids had to go through that. Like he made it somewhat funny, but some little kid has to go through that and didn't understand it. And Kendrick done it and broke it down. And on the other song, We Cry. Some people go through stuff like that, and that's really what happened in society. So he broke it down. But like I say, I like Future, but how many perks are you gonna take? How many times you gonna go to the strip club? How many times you gonna bust your guns? Like they got my kids gonna listen to stuff like this. So I want my kids to listen to somewhere they can get some type of knowledge in their brain instead of just the foolery. Like I done all the foolish stuff. So kids gonna be kids regardless, but like I want to listen to something that's good. You know what I'm saying? Like now when the Oscars come on TV, I gotta make sure I watch the Oscars with my kids now. You know what I'm saying? They can't watch it by themselves no more. You know what I'm saying? Even when we watch stuff on TV, you gotta make sure you with your kids watching with them all the time. You never know what might happen when they watch TV. Or they be on their iPad or anything else like that. So yes, that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. But King, this time what we do this season is last year we had motivational prayer because you know I'm a motivational speaker. This year God gave me something else. For the queens, we had the Queen's Prayer. So this year we don't have a King's Prayer. So King, I want you to go ahead and pray for all your fellow kings that's on this King series, your fellow kings that's around this world, whatever God puts in your heart to pray for them for, King, you got the mic right now. It's your turn to shine. And I know y'all wait for me to walk away. Come on, walk away now. Watch this. Watch.
Fellow kings, I pray for you to have peace. I pray for you to have abundance. I pray for you to have prosperity. I pray for you to have more success than you've ever had, and finding a more intentional way to get there. Typically for me, as I spoke about, that's through collaborations, that's through connecting with people. Find the who that changes your life. People always talk about starting with why. Why matters, absolutely. Find your why, but also go out of your way to find your who. Your who can help you. Your who can help you build. Your who can help you change. Your who can help you grow. I pray that you find that who that impacts your life in a positive fashion, in a fashion that accelerates you, accelerates your family, accelerates your business. Don't be scared of your opportunity. Don't be scared of your greatness. Find your peace. God loves you either way. And even if you are sad, even if stuff ain't working out, even if you're not happy, even if you're mad, angry, frustrated, you're still alive. And just that is a blessing. God is good. God is love. Peace. That would be my prayer.
Okay, cool. I love that. I love that. You have been the second person to pray with your eyes open. I don't know what it is. I was just like, do people still pray with their eyes open? But it was effective. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think my auntie to pray with her eyes open. So that always scared me. But hey, I love the prayer. Really do love it, King. So King, we gotta wrap this whole thing up right now, man. But what is your message to the kings and the queens for 2022? I want you to close out the video. Before you ready to start speaking, when I say close out the video, King, I mean you're gonna say bye, goodbye, check and do. You're gonna close out the whole video. Before I get to let them do that, hey man, this is the King series, chapter 3, Kings Edition. We're gonna have 34, 35 Kings this year. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell. We're dropping a video every other day. So y'all get ready. This King series, chapter 3, I know 34, 35 Kings that you don't know yet. By the time this King series is over with, you will know them. I promise you on that. But King, go ahead and give them a message for the whole entire year and close out the video, King.
All right. Well, first, if you need me, let me know. Tap in with me. I told you what I do, what I deal with. Check out my website, helpunicornmike.com. Thing I want to leave you all with is that 2022 is the year of abundance. It's a year of abundance for everyone you know. It's a year of abundance for everyone you need to talk to. It's a year of abundance for everyone that's surrounded in your life. Keep living each day like it's your last. It just might be. You never know. So might as well pour into others. You might as well help somebody. You might as well help yourself. And you might as well be the best version of yourself that you can be. And if you have an inkling that you didn't do your best that you can, then fix that. Because if you can do better, do better. Things can always get better, but it's a matter of doing. They say faith without works is dead. So don't tell me you have faith and then not show me your works. Keep working, keep grinding. I'm happy that I got to connect with you. Happy I got to be part of such an illustrious panel. And thank you for having me. Healthy Unicorn Mike out, friend with benefit options.